Okay, this lesson is for Chuck Bianchi. It's Dennis Clark, golf instructor. 4:45 p.m., December 27th. Chuck had an hour lesson today, and we're going to review the video. Okay, so let's go to first things first here, and we'll try to show you what's going on here, Chuck. Okay, we pointed this out in the lesson. Okay, you tend to what I call release the club kind of early. In other words, from the top, you uncock your wrist fairly early. It's very common. A lot of golfers do it. You know, if you played baseball or softball at any time, it's a natural habit. You're throwing the barrel of the bat out at the ball. Here you're trying to throw the club head at the ball. Only for you, you don't always come down with it. You throw it out sometimes. And so that's when you get that hosel shot. And that's the shot that was shooting straight over to the left on you here. And you said you weren't aware of that, and not many golfers are when they hit it. But if I set your impact, and then I come back to here, you see how now this camera's on a tripod. This is one of the ones that I captured before the disc went out on me. So you see the camera's not moving. That's all you. So you're starting here, then you're starting here, and when you go into the ball, see how you're moving out toward the ball? That's outside. That's what we call outside in, or over the top, or whatever. You'd want to get back to as close as you can with the hands into the body coming from the inside. That alone will stop the shank, and that's why the second part of the lesson today, we didn't have any of these shanks because, okay, so here he is at the address. This is a professional golfer setting a model for you, something to go by. And there he is at the impact. Now watch. Look at the club on the red line standing at address. Look at the club on the red line when he hits it. Perfect. Address, hands, weight, club, right back to where he started. Okay? Now if you look over here, you're sort of extending out toward the ball, so it would only be natural from there that you'd hit what part of the club? The heel. Right? I mean, it's pretty obvious when you look at it like in a stop action like that. So that's what I try to do, is to get you to swing down from the inside, to stay in your stance, get your hands in nice and close to your body, not far away, and we come down from the inside. Now, a little bit later in the video, in the lesson, that's the driver. I'll get to that in a minute. Get this screen set up here so you can see something here. So remember the couple things we did at the address. Let's start with that. We backed you up a little bit from the ball and we stood you up a little taller. Because as I tried to explain, Chuck, when you start coming from this path, when you start coming from inside the ball, if you cast the club, if you tend to throw the club head at it, you will hit it fat. Coming from out here, you won't. You'll have all the other problems, shanks and pulls and slices, but you won't be hitting it fat. But now fat's going to creep under your game, and that's why this foot is going to have to start getting moving here. So let's follow this one up. Hand's still out a little bit there, right? Yep, still out there a little bit. Find one that you did from the inside, so I want to show you a little bit better. So we squared the shoulders up, we moved you back from the ball, and we stood up. 3 big things. Taller, further from the ball, make sure this shoulder's back a little bit further than what you had it. Your ball position wasn't too bad. It wasn't bad. It wasn't as bad, as far forward as I thought it was when I saw how open your shoulders were. So that's not too bad there. Now here's one that's coming down more inside. Watch. You see that? That's not going to hit. That's going to hit right in the center of the club. Now, as you start to come more from the inside, you're going to have to start getting through the ball. You cannot hit it flat-footed and hit it from the inside. If you do, you're going to have some fat shots. So this turn through part where you really get your back foot off the target, see where you are at the finish of your swing? All you had to do was get there a little bit earlier. All right, so let's review this again. All right, so let's do one with the driver here. Okay, we got a random sample. Oh, let's go from the side for a minute. Okay, so this is a clearer camera. When I look away from the sun and I use that phone camera, it's much better. Okay, now, you're going to drop your hands down behind you, not out. You can't go out. You got to drop them down. While your shoulders are still turned, you're going to make those hands come down inside. Okay, I want to get that right elbow, that left elbow tucked in a little bit. And when you come down here, you've got to feel like this guy starts to come with you now. You've got to get some weight off of that back foot and over onto that left foot all the way through. This was a good clean hit here. So it's going to be essential that while your back is still at the target, you start your arms down and you start going with your lower body, but you don't open your upper body yet. Now you start to come through, and right now this knee should be kicking into this knee. So let's watch that from the side. This will help you. What are the address positions again? Let's review them. Taller, further from the ball, square shoulders. Okay? So we're going to look here. Let's take this. Well, let me see if I have a face on for an iron. This is a professional model. I'll just flip them around and make a right-hander. You see the back knee kicking in. Watch that left knee. You see that kicking in? You see the gap between the legs closing here? That's what I mean by getting off of that side. You've got to close that gap, and the knees have to what we call kiss at the end. They got to touch there. You can't have the knees stay too far apart, too long. Okay, so you're still flat-footed and the ball's pretty far gone. So I really want to get you into this getting off the back foot and turning through the ball if you come from the inside. That's the big thing, if you can come from the inside. So we put, to help you get inside, we squared up the shoulders and we put a ball out there, head cover if you have one. So when you turn that left shoulder back first, it'll go to the inside. That's better. You mentioned you feel like keeping the club face closed. That's a matter of preference. But as long as you can deliver this club from the inside and not get the hands too far out away from the body. They've got to come down in close to the body. Now we're on that heel again, see? So we got to be careful of this. This is the driver. And there's the impact, or just about the impact, we'll call it impact. And there's the starting point. See how much out that's coming? Look at the difference in space between your backside humping forward and your club going out. And I'm trying to get you to come down, you know, as close to the body as you can so we can get off that hosel forevermore. Now this is pretty good with the back foot. See, a lot of times you said, I'm not having any trouble with my driver. That's because on the driver you are coming through very nicely. You just have to remember that the club must come down from the inside and you have to get through the ball a little bit better. Those are your key points. Okay? So you have to feel like, again, taller, further from the ball, square shoulders. Club goes back inside. That's good. That's a good path back. See your shoulder moving back here? That's good. That's what we want. You're taking it up with your shoulders. Now the goal is to bring those hands back down in here. Oops. Bring that back down in here. Don't let them go out. And as you do, start turning through the ball. Let this heel come up, get your belt buckle to face the target, and you're ready to go. All right? Let me know how you're doing with it, Chuck. All right. Good luck. Good to see you again. Happy New Year.